Hello fellow knitters, Daphne here. Today I'm going to demonstrate two different decreases, both useful in general knitting and especially for domino knitting. This rug on display is called tessellations. I have combined 3 sizes of squares to create this rug using the domino knitting technique. With domino knitting, the squares are joined as the rug progresses. Instead of casting on new stitches for each new square, new stitches are created by picking up from the edge of previous squares. Another of my videos, Picking Up Stitches, demonstrates how to pick up from the edge of one block to create new stitches for another block. The pattern for tessellations is available as a digital download. Tessellations has diagonal lines as an integral part of the design. These strong diagonals, created by the decrease I used, unite the 3 sizes of blocks: small, medium, and large. I call it the continuous stitch decrease, as one stitch remains live from block to block. Instructions for this decrease are also in my book, Squares and Stripes Forever, on page 34. These stitch markers hold the live stitches at the ready for new blocks. This pattern is great for using leftover yarn. I am utilising most of my stash of greenish yarn, except for the tree frog greens. Very small amounts of yarn can be incorporated in stripes. Use the continuous stitch decrease with an odd number of stitches. It is quite simple. It is just slip 2 stitches together knitwise, knit 1, then pass the slipped stitches over. I'll do that again. Slip 2 together knitwise, knit 1, then pass the slipped stitches over. Here I am slipping the 2 stitches separately. This decrease is worked on the right side rows. On the return row, the wrong side row, the central stitch should always be a purl stitch. As you approach the centre stitch, you can feel the slightly thicker stitch with your thumb. When the 2 stitches are slipped for the last decrease, 1 stitch remains. I'll slip them one at a time. This is the stitch that is needed for the next block. Save it with a stitch marker. For this rug, stained glass, I used a different decrease. This sample shows it clearly. It is rather like a bumpy road and does not create a strong line. Once again, this decrease is used with an odd number of stitches. As with the previous decrease, it is worked over the middle 3 stitches. Instructions are on page 24 of my book, Squares and Stripes Forever. I'll now demonstrate this decrease. Slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slipped stitch over. I'll do that again. Slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slipped stitch over. Here are the 2 samples showing the 2 decreases I have used in many of my rug patterns. I hope this helps you to use the most appropriate decrease for any of your knitting projects. Happy knitting, everyone, from Daphne.
Here are the steps to download Daphne's patterns and to view the videos on her YouTube channel. Send an email to knitwithdaphne@gmail.com and include the subject Free Download. There is no need for any content in the email. You will receive an automatic email reply that includes 2 links. One is a link to Daphne's YouTube channel. The other is a link to the downloadable patterns. When you click the link, the Knit with Daphne folder with all the downloadable patterns will open. Double-click on any line to open and download the pattern. Double-click on stitch patterns to open the folder with the individual knitting stitch pattern. Enjoy Daphne's designs and happy knitting!